What's up, guys? Your trading account may be making you money, but ask yourself this, is it protected? You know, one lawsuit or creditor claim could wipe it out in an instant. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to safeguard your trading profits with proven asset protection strategies because I don't want to see you risk losing everything. So this video is going to show you how to take control of your financial security by creating the right structure around your brokerage account. All right, let's get started. Okay, so when it comes to a trading account, what should you do if you want asset protection? Well, actually, it's pretty simple to set up a structure to protect your trading account. And what that means is that we want to create a limited liability company. So what I'm referring to here is someone who is not looking to build a business around their trading, is not considered to be a trader, someone who's just looking for asset protection, because we realize that if I kept this brokerage account in my own name, and I'm up here and I'm trading it and I'm making great profits from my brokerage account, and all of a sudden I'm involved in some type of creditor dispute, an accident, and someone is now suing me. Well, if they sue me and they get a judgment against me, then they can take that judgment and they can go and they can liquidate my trading account. All they need to do is garnish my broker, and the broker then would liquidate out the account and pay the proceeds out to my creditor. Now, I don't want to see that happen, and this is why this is the strategy that I used over 25 years ago to protect my account, and it still is protecting that account today. What I realized is that by keeping that account in your own name, of course, it's exposed. So I needed to get it out of my name. And the way I did that is I created a limited liability company to hold my brokerage account. Now, it's not just any limited liability company. I created a limited liability company in Wyoming because I wanted a limited liability company that is a charging order protected limited liability company. LLC. Now, what do I mean by a charging order protected LLC? A charging order protected LLC, when you're setting up that type of limited liability company, what you're doing is you're ensuring that if this creditor out here sues me and gets a judgment against me, let's say for $150,000, that the LLC is going to protect all of my trading profits. So this Wyoming LLC, my underlying brokerage account, my profits that I'm continuing to make from my trading activity, it will be protected from my personal creditors because of this language right here, this charging order protected LLC. That means my creditor cannot take my LLC interest from me. So I can keep my trading going on. They can't get after my trading account. They can't wipe me out. They can't gain control over the LLC. The only thing they're entitled to is any distributions that I may decide to issue out to myself. Well, newsflash. If I had a creditor against my trading account LLC, I wouldn't be taking any distributions until that creditor went away. In fact, in my experience in working in this field for over 25 years, helping people just like you to protect your assets, I have yet to see a creditor pursue an effective strategy against someone who has a structure set up as I've drawn out for you right here. So I know this works. So if you have a brokerage account and you're looking to protect it, then you want to create a limited liability company around that. Now, here's something that's really important when you're setting up this LLC. Okay, tax status. So if I'm going to set up a brokerage account LLC, a Wyoming LLC to protect my brokerage account, I need to make a tax election with the IRS to choose how to treat it for federal tax purposes. So in this scenario, if all you're looking for is asset protection, then there's only two structures or two tax classifications you want to look at. Number one, disregarded. So when you set up your entity, you want to make an election to treat it as a disregarded LLC in the eyes of the IRS, which means this, that it does not have to file a tax return, that it only has one owner, okay? Or if you live in a community property state, maybe there's two owners, you and your spouse. But it will not file a return. So everything you make here will pass down to you and will show up on your 1040 as if you were trading in your own name. Now, this does not impair your asset protection. A lot of times people get confused on this. They think, well, if it's disregarded, then my creditors will disregard it. No, it's just disregarded in the eyes of the IRS. The second option you have is to treat it as a partnership. And this would occur when you and your spouse, let's say you live in a non-community property state, such as Florida, New York, New Jersey. A lot of the East Coast states are non-community property. And if both of you want to be the owners on that account, on that LLC that holds your brokerage account, well, in that case, then it's going to be treated as a partnership. So that implies that this entity will file a 1065 tax return on an annual basis. There's nothing wrong with filing a tax return. It's a flow-through entity. So again, everything's going to flow down to you and be taxed at your individual rates on those trading profits. So this type of structure is going to give you asset protection. Now, something else to consider if you're looking for asset protection for your brokerage account. If you're a trader who needs access to real-time feeds, well, when you're setting up this type of structure for asset protection purposes to protect your brokerage account and you want that real-time feed, meaning you need to know what that stock is trading at that particular second when you're going to place your trade, well then, depending on the size of your account, typically if they're over 250,000, this is not a concern to you, but if your account's less than 250, your broker may charge you a professional fee to have access to real-time feeds, which means that can be quite expensive for you. It could be maybe $500, $800 a month. So in that case, if you need those real-time feeds and you want the asset protection, the way I work around this for my clients is we have two options. Number one, I tell them, hey, keep a small brokerage account in your individual name. So you don't get the real-time feeds up here, but you have a small brokerage account in your personal name where you do have the real-time feed, so you know what that option or that stock is trading at that particular second, and so you can put your trades in accordingly. Now, if that doesn't work for you, you don't like to look back and forth between two screens and you want to have it all in one, then you may want to consider creating a personal property trust. So we'll create a trust here called a PPT, and in the personal property trust, we'll open up our brokerage account. Now, the broker will give you real-time feeds to a trust account. So the trust by itself does not offer asset protection. So what we then do is we take this property trust and we have it owned by the limited liability company. So this is a workaround that we implemented about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, when we realized that a lot of brokers started charging these professional fees to business entities on their smaller accounts. So way to combat that is to create a trust, have the account open in the name of the trust, and then have the trust owned by the LLC so that you don't own the trust. Therefore, you have the asset protection that the LLC provides, but you get the real-time feeds that a trust will provide. Now, if you're wondering about a tax aspects here, hey, it's all disregarded. Again, the only thing you have to worry about on a tax election is going to be with this Wyoming LLC right here. So this is a great structure when it comes to figuring out how to protect your personal brokerage account. It's one of those areas, hey, there's a lot of our clients right now are making really good money on their trading, and they have taken the steps to protect it. If you've got a brokerage account and you've been thinking about this, you want to get these assets removed just in case the worst event may happen in your life that puts you at personal risk to a judgment creditor, setting up this structure now will give you that peace of mind. Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, now's your opportunity to do it. Take advantage of that and you'll be notified whenever I release brand new content on a weekly basis. Take care.